to see if you can. If you cannot, please ball out. And ball out on time so that the person can see road. Move on, find somebody else that is willing.
There's a way you spend 6-7 years and balling out is like taking the person's whole life.
Yes.
You can imagine wasting 7 years of your life.
I used to say this. Sometimes, like you were saying, the ladies are the foolish ones in this most of the time. You meet a lady and she tells you, I want to get married at 25, 26, 27, as the case may be 30. But now, you wanted to get married at 25, for example. You are 24 in a relationship that is not defined. You stay with this guy. By 26, he is now telling you, I don't think I am interested in this relationship. Then you now take another 1 year or 2, of course, to wait for another right person. Then the relationship begins. That is how you get to 30, you get to 31, 32. And then it is not because you're not pretty. It is because you failed to define relationships when you were supposed to define them. There are lies we both tell ourselves and live in relationships. On today's edition of the Achojis, we are going to be talking about mistakes you must avoid in relationships. You're going to have a nice time. With me on the podcast today is my beautiful wife,
Grace Achoji.
And I am yours, Peter Achoji. There are lies we both live with and tell ourselves as far as relationships are concerned. That may be comfortable, but that will not help you. On today's edition of the Achojis podcast, we are going to be talking about mistakes you must avoid in relationships. Subscribe to this channel. Click the notification button. React to this podcast. And we'll see you right after the break. You're welcome back. Like I said, we're going to be talking about mistakes you must avoid in relationships. We're going straight into business. Grace?
Yeah.
I'm sure you're ready for us.
I'm ready.
All right, let's get into business.
All right, there are things that you must not do or you must ensure that you avoid in relationship. All right, we'll just look at the points in no particular order, and then we are going to just list them and then talk about them.
All right.
And the first we are going to be talking about today is the mistake of not getting clarity in a relationship or while dating. When a man comes your way as a lady and you start something or you start talking, whether it's in talking stage or you have started a relationship, get clarity. What is this relationship all about? What does he want? There are situations where you see a man come close to a lady and he's around for a while, and yet we are not saying that you have to be sure from the day one that you must marry the person, but at least you are sure that why you have come or what this relationship is all about is that we are checking out ourselves to see if we can be compatible enough to get married. But don't just run in a relationship and there's no clarity of what you are up to or what you even want. Do not make that. It's a mistake. It's a mistake that can ruin your relationship life.
Yes.
Especially for the ladies. I've seen situations where they are in a relationship, in quotes, and after years, the guy came up and said he has found who he wants to marry. And then he has been with this other lady for many years. And then for me, I knew the guy and he was small, he was a friend, and I asked him, what about the other girl? He said, I've never told her I wanted to marry her. It can be heartbreaking because that other one has been in that relationship with the hope that is what
a lot
he
of
wants.
assumptions. Actually.
And most times these guys, they sell the assumptions to these ladies. The ladies most times don't just come up with it. You hear things like, so this one you are always eating rice. Does that mean that it's only rice we'll be eating in our house? And when our children will come, is that the children will do like this, or is it that when we go and play with the kids and all of those? But you never opened your mouth to say, I want to marry you. But you said it in 100 other ways, but never said it.
Said it directly.
So that the day you want to ball out,
Nobody will hold you
say, I never
responsible.
told you.
Yes.
So please get clarity.
Get definition. You've talked to the ladies, and I want to talk to the guys about the same issue too, because I've seen a situation where this guy was hustling real well, and ran with this same assumption that this lady was in a relationship with him. He went ahead, opened a chemist for her, kept visiting and all of that. And then one day decided that, okay, let me just do a little check, so he sent a gift to this lady through a particular guy and asked, and the condition was just name the person who sent this gift to you. And the girl called a name, and it was not him. It was not him. So it devastated him seriously, because almost his entire life he was investing into this whole lady. And the lady said, you never told me you were going to marry me. And I have a boyfriend that is serious, and we are going to marry. Unapologetically, this lady was unapologetic about it, that he was not her man, and was not even sorry for enjoying the chemist and the profits that came from the chemist, So it's not always good to run on assumptions. One of the things that kept me out of relationships too early is because I want definition. I want to know what I was into, what I was doing. And I think it profits us. So that when you are going in, you are sure this is what I want. And ladies, it is not wisdom, or it is not you not showing desperation to ask a guy to define a relationship. What are we here doing? Because a lot of ladies feel that if I ask, I am being desperate. Like that's not desperation. That is you knowing what you're doing. Yes.
And you have the right to
and it leads to respect eventually. The guy knows that if I'm going to be with this lady, I must define it. And if you're not defining it, you ball out. Simple.
If he makes you feel bad for asking him, then
there is something he's hiding.
You are putting me under pressure just by asking you what you want. Then it means you need to truly.
If I'm a lady asking you to define the relationship, I am not putting you under pressure to marry me. Let's make it clear. I am putting you under pressure to define. And when the definition comes, I now decide whether I can go. For example, if you're telling me I want to marry you in 3 years, and I don't think I have 3 years to spare, I will leave the relationship, not because I don't want you, not because I don't like you, but I think that this definition is too much for me to handle. If a lady is willing to wait for 1 year or 1.5 years, now that it has been defined, not that we just keep going like a train that is not having a direction or a destination. Relationships ought not to be like that.
Thank you very much. 2, do not make the mistake in a relationship of playing the role of husband or wife while in relationship or dating. If you are not yet married, you are not married. It is not almost we will soon marry. It is not we are married. We intend to get married. It's not the same as we are married. So if you are not yet a wife, you are not a wife. If you are not yet a husband, you are not a husband. Do not play the role of a wife as a girlfriend, and do not play the role of a husband as a boyfriend. You are washing his clothes, you cook for him, you ensure that his house is clean, you are, of course, giving him everything a wife should give. Or as a guy, you have taken completely her financial burdens, her house rent, her hair, her school fees, her everything. That's the role of a husband.
My uncle once gave me one of the greatest advices I ever got. I met him and I asked him, I told him that this particular girl I am interested in. I said, I'm interested in this lady, but she has a little challenge with school and I intend to help. He told me, he said, don't do it except you marry her. Not except you want to marry her. He said, except you marry her.
If you want
then
to
you
do it, marry her and do it.
And he did the same. When he wanted to sponsor his wife through school, who was then his fiancée, he married her and then sponsored her through school. This issue of I sponsored her through school. Now she doesn't want me. That
after all I've done for you.
Now, guess what? I heeded his advice. I didn't tell this girl, but of course, the relationship went on. But the relationship didn't last. The relationship ended up breaking up, you know. So, and it didn't break because I didn't sponsor her to school. It broke, let me call it naturally, due to natural causes. Natural circumstances. So the back door was easy, both for me and for her. Because I wouldn't accuse her of leaving me after sponsoring her. And she had the liberty. She had the liberty to leave.
She wouldn't feel wicked and mean for leaving you after all you've done.
Because usually the ladies now start feeling guilty.
For leaving.
He has done this for me. He has done that for me. If I leave him, what will the world say? What will people say? How will I feel? So that guilt will always be there on the part of the beneficiary, because sometimes it is the other way around. It is the lady sponsoring the guy, and now the guy cannot leave because he's going to feel guilty. He's going to feel and after all she's done for me, and the world. So the best thing is to avoid it. You remember the other day in finances, we were talking about investing together. Don't get involved in things together. It's part of defining a relationship. It's part of defining relationships. Very important.
Don't get too entangled. You can't be rational anymore. You cannot make decisions they are supposed to be, but you can't do it. Yes. And now when we say this, there's a balance. That does not also mean that even when you see that this girl cannot feed and you are eating, you have money to eat and have extra, and then you say since I've not married her, I cannot. No, that's not what we mean. There's a balance to this, where you really need to, you see that you can help.
The whole balance is that in any relationship, the back door should be kept open. It is in marriage that the back door should be closed, but in relationships,
it should be left open.
Each party should feel free to leave at any time. In fact, the idea of relationship, the reason why you didn't marry the first day you met this person is because you're checking out. You're checking out. And why are you checking out? To see if you can. If you cannot, please ball out. And ball out on time so that the person can see road. Move on. Find somebody else that is willing.
You know, there's a way you spend 6-7 years and balling out is like taking the person's whole life.
Yes.
You can imagine wasting 7 years of your life.
You know, I used to say this. Sometimes, like you were saying, the ladies are the foolish ones in this most of the time. You meet a lady and she tells you, I want to get married at 25, 26, 27, as the case may be 30. But now, you wanted to get married at 25, for example. You are 24 in a relationship that is not defined. You stay with this guy. By 26, he is now telling you, I don't think I am interested in this relationship. Then you now take another 1 year or two, of course, to wait for another right person. Then the relationship begins. Before that is how you get to 30, you get to 31, 32. And then it is not because you're not pretty. It is because you failed to define relationships when you were supposed to define them.
Number 3, build friendship. Do not make the mistake of not building friendship in relationship. You should be able to spend time talking and not touching. Yes. Can you guys spend time talking and not touching? A lot of the times in relationship, people spend time doing the wrong thing and not building friendship. So because you are busy with the wrong thing, you think you are friends, but actually you are not. You are not. It is when the reality of now spending time doing nothing, just talking and being friends comes. That's when you realize that you are not friends. The person that cannot make it as your friend should not make it as your spouse.
Very important.
Because if you can't in marriage, you will not spend the whole of your life touching
each other.
Yes, that's not what marriage is. Marriage is not about touching and having sex. You have time to just bond, talk, and just about nothing. And if you can't tolerate that now, her talk gets you angry.
The whole idea of the relationship is to do it with your mind and not with your body.
Yeah.
Your body is meant for marriage. Your mind is meant for the relationship. In marriage, you can use both the body and the mind, but in relationship, it is only your mind that is welcome to this. Yes, the body plays a part, a part in attraction. You saw the person attracted you physically before you came to check the person's inside. But now that you've been attracted, you should stop there, so that whenever you meet, your mind is at work. The questions you are asking are for action. When you've asked the questions, you gather enough information and ask yourself, based on this information and based on my criteria for the right man or for the right woman, should I go or not? Now, it is not just a one-time thing. It is something you keep asking yourself until you say I do. And until you say I do, you have not done. You're not done yet. Yeah, so you keep checking. When you're done, you say I do. And the moment you say I do, the relationship enters a different dimension. And that is when you are permitted to play the role of a husband or a wife. Otherwise, you are not obligated to perform those roles.
All right. Thank you, sir. Number 4. Do not make the mistake of having, it's similar to just what you just said now, endless or purposeless relationship. Your relationship is just open-ended. We know that you can set out to go for a 2 years relationship and it can become 4 years. But at least there's a time frame. There's a purpose for it. You can set out to say, okay, this relationship, you are looking at 2, 3 years, 3 years, and eventually it didn't really work out exactly like that. But at least there's time frame. It's not endless. It's a mistake to just keep running. I knew a lady then that had, I think, 9 years or so. And eventually the relationship, she was supposed to come out. But she felt, after this 9 years, whatever it is, it wasn't working. But she felt she had to make anyhow 9 years of her life. Where would she start from? Of course, she was already in her 30s at that time. You can imagine. So where do you want her to start from? Don't go into endless.
Let me come in there a little bit. A lot of people make the mistake of judging a relationship based on the length of time. I've seen people say, because I've been in this relationship for 3 years, 5 years, 7 years, as the case may be, is now the reason why you must marry or you have to stay in the relationship. The purpose does not change based on the length of time. The purpose is yes, it is that the purpose should determine a lot of the things. You have been there, and after 5 years, you are coming to, the Bible says concerning the prodigal son, it came to a time, and the Bible says he came to himself. Yeah, so it's possible that you're listening to us today and this is your day of coming to yourself, coming to your senses. And then you just realize that, see, this is not where I should be. And you've probably been there 5 years, 7 years. It is still not too late. You should better come out than be in the wrong marriage. Yeah. Nobody's going to accuse you for coming out of a broken relationship. Yeah. But of course, you're going to pay for it if you get out of a marriage. You were talking about you planned for a 2-year relationship, but then it ended up being 3 years or 4 years, as the case may be. Just be sure that is a mistake of the head and not of the heart. Yeah. Because what I mean by mistake of the head and not of the heart is that there are persons in relationship, especially the guys, that are setting out to deceive the ladies. They knew from the very beginning that they were not intending to marry, or at least not this soon. So when he was saying, I will marry you in 2 years, he was lying. He knew it was not going to be like that, and he set out. Now, I call that the mistake of the heart. The person intended it, planned it out to be like that. Mistake of the head is that we planned 2 years, but even you, the lady, you are seeing that circumstantially it is not possible. Finances, distance, career, some things just came in between. Sometimes
purpose, yes.
Yes.
To truly just pursue purpose,
you need to extend. Yes. So that's mistake of the head. The person is really not guilty or responsible for that. But make sure it is of the head. Sometimes for those ladies that are deceived into lies, into waiting endlessly, If they had paid attention, if they had looked in between the lines, they would have seen that there is
always there.
Yes, it's always there. You would have seen that there is no truth in this thing.
All right. Thank you. All right. Number 5. Do not make the mistake of cohabitating. Now, when we say this no longer popular. They say when lie, how do they put that statement?
They say
it's
when
an institution, truth becomes rebellion or something like that.
Yes, when a lie becomes an institution, truth becomes rebellion.
That's how this sounds. The issue of cohabitating has now been, let me use the word legalized, even among Christians. Now, when we talk about these things, we are talking about believers. We are talking to those that intend to do it right.
Yes.
We are talking to those that want to do it well and build to last. There are people that don't really care. They just build.
And you know what is interesting is that there are people that are not even believers and they strive to do this thing right. And they're getting it right because
because they are going with the principles.
These things are principles.
They are principles. So some people go with, and there are those that are now Christians and are not interested in the principle, but they are interested in the results. They don't want the principle.
And whenever you break principles, it will always break you.
You will always get the results of breaking the principles.
Yes.
There are no two ways about it. So when we say these things, I want you to understand that all we are trying to do is so that we can build a lasting and a blissful marriage. You can actually marry and not blissful. And my last too, depending on how it's lasting. So what we are talking about is when you cohabitate, actually, statistically, it's been proven that those that cohabitate before marriage have higher risk of failure than those that did not.
Definitely, you would have higher risk of failure.
So they have higher risk of failure. So when you start exposing yourself, it brings see finish.
Yes.
Eventually, you are done seeing before you began.
In the design of God, sex is supposed to be in the marriage, not before the marriage. When you have finished the race before the starting line, there's no way you're going to run the race well. Your energy is already dissipated, so there is nothing left for the real race. The romance, you see a lot of them exhaust the romance tank before the marriage starts. Like you said, the word there is the see finish. By the time the marriage is starting, there's nothing you're anticipating. There's nothing you're looking forward to. The marriage becomes boring. In fact, sometimes you even become angry with the person because there is nothing to look out for. The annoying thing is that such persons now say they want to go for honeymoon. Where is the honey there?
They just want to spend some money.
Yeah.
That's just
they should go and rest, I beg.
Well, there was a lady that was that sincere. I think we got married almost same time. And then we're talking and I was like, so where is the honeymoon? Where are they going to? She just said, please leave that thing. What honeymoon? What have we not seen? What are we going there to do? Because she felt we've done it all.
While we were looking forward to an exciting time, everything was just strange. You see, so there is always
was already there before they began the marriage.
Yes,
they were
burnout is already there.
We were looking forward to how we can go and start.
Yeah.
They were looking forward to, I beg, let's do and rest. We are tired. Yes, so it's not necessary. You have your entire life to live together. And let's say you married at 25, 30, 35, and you're hoping to live for 100 years on earth. You see that you have to live together, you have time. There is time.
A lot of the things we say, there's no time. There is a lot of time.
You will live together until you are looking for space to travel.
That thing you say you cannot wait, you can wait.
Until you are tired. Do not make the mistake of cohabitating. As normal and as usual as it has become, it is not the design of God that before the marriage you now start staying together. Do not be tempted. Do not be carried away. Don't be carried away by the norm, and that everyone is doing it
does not make it right. All right.
I like that. All right. Thank you very much. All right. Number 6. Do not give him sex. Sex is not part of relationship. I said that's another myth that we need to deal with now.
Yes.
It's now the new normal. to the point that even some believers don't believe that you can have a relationship without sex. Some are not even willing to try. It's not like they are trying and then they made mistake. We are not talking about mistake. We are talking about mindsets.
We have seen situations where we even propose that you try, and they make you feel stupid for even trying to say that,
for thinking that they can try.
Actually, I have counseled a number of both guys and ladies, and those that were honest enough with me told me, I can't do it. I can't do it. You know, these are things that it's like knowing that if I touch this fire, it's going to burn me, and then you say, I cannot not touch it.
Let it
burn me.
I would rather burn.
Yes. These are things that get us into trouble. The Bible says that fornication is a sin that destroys your own body, is a sin against your own self.
Yeah.
You know, and the Bible recommends that whenever you are tempted in that line, you should run away. Flee, he said. Flee. You cannot be smarter than God. You cannot be smarter than wisdom. A pastor once said, you cannot be wiser than wisdom. So when God says you should flee, at the end of the day, it is for your benefit. Yeah. You know, I get to talk about how that this issue of sex has brought so much trouble in society. Are we talking about STDs and STIs? Are we talking about the unwanted pregnancies? Are we talking about the trauma of single parenting?
Are we talking about the lack of trust?
The lack of trust that it builds, the suspicion, consistent suspicion, and all of the troubles that come with it.
It is not worth your vision.
Yes.
It blurs your reasoning ability in relationship. There are times that a relationship that would have packed up
is hanging on.
Sex is used as a tool to mend it and keep it going. It's just like a leaking pot that is gone, but you are using a little gum to just keep this pot is gone. It's leaking,
and
you have gone. It's gone.
Yes, it is
there
gone.
There are relationships that should have packed up.
That
are not meant to be.
Yes.
That is the right thing for them to do. But the only reason why it's still hanging and will continue to hang and might still lead to marriage is that one
deception.
Thing. The deception of sex.
Yes.
It has blurred their vision. It has killed your courage, your ability to rise up to say no. It's no longer there. You can't do it. You don't have the moral strength to do what is right anymore. It is for your good.
There is enough time to do it right. I know some people are asking, Pastor, ours has already gotten to that point. So what do we do? What do we do? You know, a lot of people ask the question, Pastor, ours has been mired in this already. At this point, what should we do? Well, I know that it is easier said than done. It's about first of all, the willingness to act, the willpower to act. Apply that willpower. Tell yourself and agree with yourself that you want to do it right. It is more than just telling you, okay, do step 1, step 2, step 3. The number one thing is to make up your mind that you want to do it right. And when you begin to do it right, you're going to get the right results. So first and foremost, I'm not going to tell you step 1, back out of his house. Step 2, don't visit him or don't be in the wrong places. These are things that will be done. But first and foremost, be willing. Make up your mind that we are going to do it right.
In fact, believe that it is possible.
Yes.
So that you can even, some of them don't even believe.
Yes.
They don't believe that it's possible. So they can't even get to where they think they can do it. Because they don't even think that it's possible.
You know, we talked about mindsets in relationship. When someone has a mindset that it is not possible for a relationship to be free from sex, then the person will most likely have the mindset that cheating or faithfulness in relationship is not possible.
Yes, sir.
It simply follows. Yeah. So be aware of people's mindset in relationships.
All right, number 6. Do not make the mistake of ignoring red flags. You have seen it. You know it's red flag, but you just want to manage. Do not make that mistake. It might be too expensive a mistake to make.
This is not Yakubu. He said Yakubu manage. You're going to feel like you're going to die, but you will not die. Is that clear?
You might just die.
This one, It is not Yakubu. This one is the one that calls to action. The reason you are there is so that you check. And when you check and the red flags are coming, please don't ignore the red flags. They are there to help you. They are there to make you make a decision. So when you ignore them, you are ignoring them at your own peril. Don't ask what are the red flags. We've been talking about them. If you listen, you're going to find a lot. In fact, there is one.
Check the videos.
Red flags in relationships. Yes. So watch that video and find out these red flags and make sure that you don't ignore them.
All right. Number 7. Do not make the mistake of waiting until you gather all the money or make all of the money before you get married. Yes. A lot of the times why we talk about this endless relationship and why it is taking 9 years, 7 years is because they believe, or he believes, that he does not have the kind of money he needs, not just for his home, for the wedding. Yes. If you can feed yourself, feed one other person, and you know you can, the basic necessity, which is house, shelter, and feeding, and you have found the right person.
Just go ahead and marry. Go ahead.
You know, there's no, you will not come first. Neither will you come last in your wedding, in the ceremony, where they say, this is their ceremony. I think these people, they will give them number 1. They are, no, there's nothing like
You're
that.
Not going to,
there's no best wedding, and there's no worst wedding.
Yes, the best is yet to come. And let me also talk to the ladies too. A lot of ladies say, a lot of them have told me that I want to make my own money before I marry. You ask them for what? Say, so that the guy does not disrespect me, so that I can do what I want to do, and a lot of that. And I simply tell them this: you have already set out for failure in that marriage by making that statement that as a woman you want to have your own money. You are going into that marriage to be a support for the man, a help meet for him. And that support is not limited to some areas, and some areas you're intending to have your own money and he has his own money. You are coming to do it together. So if the man meets you at a point where you intend to do something and make some money, or you are just starting it but the money has not come yet, you come and he will support you. He will support you. And even if you are making money already, you, on all things being equal, all of the money should be for the marriage. I'm not saying for him. It should be brought together so that both of you can make a successful home. This mindset of have my own money is you setting up your marriage for failure even before it starts.
Lastly, do not make the mistake of not being accountable. You are in a relationship where none of you is accountable to anybody. You just do your thing. Sometimes when there is danger, you might not be able to tell. Do not make that mistake. We are not saying you should be accountable to everyone and everyone on the street. Your relationship is like a vision written on a tablet on the street. No, that's not what we mean. But there should be someone that is ahead of you spiritually and that understand God's mind about marriage, that you should be able to submit yourself to be accountable to, so that your relationship will be guided.
A lot of times when young people avoid being accountable in relationship is because sometimes they are aware that there are things that are not right in the relationship, and that mentor or pastor, whoever the person may be, would bring it to light, and you know that relationship is not right. So not being accountable allows you to continue to be in the relationship. So you don't want to expose the red flags. You want to hide the red flags so that nobody tells you of those concerns. I'm aware that there are people that mentors parents that get to be overbearing. They get to overstep their boundaries. Sometimes parents will tell the child, I don't want you to marry that person. Why? Because he's from a different tribe. All of those are trivial reasons, and yes, we know that can happen. But when you find the right mentors, role models, you should be able to open up and say, this is the relationship I am in, and allow them to ask you questions.
Thank you very much, sir. It's been a wonderful time here today.
Yeah, it's been wonderful. It's been wonderful. You're going to do us the favor of making sure you subscribe to this channel, click notification button so that whenever we come up, you're going to join us, and share with a friend. Share with a friend. Put your questions and comments in the comment section. We're most likely going to attend to them in the subsequent editions. But meanwhile, stay blessed.